like it's okay. But if you do for Qurbani have to be from 6 months and up for a lamb or sheep. Cow have to be 2 years and up. We cannot be like 1 year for cows and do Qurbani. It's not. But for Qurbani, it's a special category for it. It have to be a big sheep, fat, not bones showing, no cut. Everything has to be perfect. If his horn is broke one side, you cannot use it for Qurbani. If his testicles been banded, you cannot use it for Qurbani. If it's pregnant, you cannot use it for Qurbani. That's if you don't know nothing about it. But if you know something, she's pregnant, but you like it because it's big, that's something different. You cannot be for Qurbani. Qurbani is very specific. Have to be good looking, healthy, fat, no bones showing, no cut, nothing. No damage at all for Qurbani. That's how we do the Qurbani for Eid.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The previous clip is of Brother Esmail of G&G Farms describing those characteristics one should avoid when selecting an animal for the Udhiyya sacrifice after the al-Adha salat. The video in its entirety is intended to be a breakdown of the Dhabh, the proper hand slaughter method a Muslim must do when they are procuring any halal meat, whether that is for personal consumption, whether that is for business, or whether that is specific to the Udhiyya or the Qurbani sacrifice. For the sake of ensuring that this video does not show any graphic content so that we can keep the video uploaded on YouTube, obviously we're not showing any recording of slaughtering of animals. I will break the process down with kind of a verbal and hand gesture demonstration. The proper hand slaughter method must be done with a sharpened knife. When one selects an animal to slaughter, one should, to the best of their ability, keep that animal kind of segregated from a flock or a herd of livestock, as well as conceal view of the sharpened knife. The proper hand slaughter method will consist of, to the best of one's ability, to try to orient the animal to be hand slaughtered facing the Qibla. One should say Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, when they run the knife across the throat. This should be done in a swift, sure hand motion. One time across the throat, you are severing the carotid artery, the jugular vein, and the trachea, all in that one motion. One should not attempt to saw. One should not do multiple cuts. It needs to be one clean, sure cut that's going to sever those three, the jugular, the carotid, and the trachea. You do not run the knife at the base of the neck. It needs to be at the throat. For Udhiyya, when one reads the different scholarly texts of the different madhahib, we read that you can offer a sheep, a goat, a cow, or a camel. In our local context here in Louisville, Kentucky, we only really are dealing with sheep, goat, and cattle, in which case that dhabh, that hand slaughter method, is the appropriate method to slaughter for the Udhiyya. Keep in mind, for the Udhiyya, depending on the madhab that you follow, you will learn and you'll understand within yourself that the Udhiyya ranges between a wajib act, an obligatory act, such as in the case of the Hanafi madhab. You may also read Sunnah Mu'akkada, potentially. It's very important that as Muhsineen, as brothers of the Muhsineen, that we are learning these skills. A, for our personal obligations. B, to benefit our families by being able to fulfill these obligations or these sunnah mu'akkadas. And C, that we may impart this knowledge whether to new Muslims, whether to Muslims who just have not learned themselves. It's crucial that we understand the basic dhabh method as well as this method with regards to the Udhiyya. Keep in mind, for the Udhiyya, it is the most meritorious to complete the Udhiyya after the Eid al-Adha salat on the 10th of Dhul Hijjah. If you are unable to do it on the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, then do it on the 11th. If you're unable to do the 10th or the 11th, then the 12th. Rely on local scholars if you are curious about the potentiality of being able to give money to another person to do the Udhiyya in your name. I won't get into too much of the fiqh. This is really just intended to be a basic kind of breakdown on how to do the dhabh method, a little bit about the Udhiyya ritual. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you to Brother Esmail of G&G Farms in Boston, Kentucky. Alhamdulillah, for the Muhsineen brothers, each year since we have began this gathering, each year he has been incredibly generous with his time, with his patience, with his knowledge, as more and more brothers attend the workshop to learn this beneficial skill. Jazakallah khairan. Wassalamu alaikum.